tough because we could have, if they hadn't double teamed and came off and gapped on Muhammad, he could take it right to the basket in that amount of time. Thank goodness he missed the foul shots. A really good foul shooter too, Devin. So I feel bad for him, but really good for us because I've been in part of a few of these games on the other side, and even in the NCAA tournament. So we last year Derek Walton's shot could have went in, right, and we could have advanced. So and we got probably a better look in that game. So things even out, and we're happy. But I'm astonished that we were still able to win that game, given that the time left in the game.
You guys have not come close to playing your best ball yet, probably either. So is that somewhat encouraging?
We're doing some things that are I don't know, and we got to address them and try and get better at them. But I think that we made some of the mistakes that we've only lost 7 games, but those seven losses, I felt we did some things that just don't make sense, and they're not characteristic. But we got in some foul trouble again today, and we had a couple turnovers there. We only had 7, but a couple of them were really bad. So we just got to shake off some of those jitters and get better.
Coach, variation of that same play that you
same play. There's 3 or 4 different options that could roll out of it. Depends where Isaiah throws the ball. They all have different options. So, and I preferred to decide to ice the shooter. I would prefer to call a timeout there and then set up a half-court play with 3 seconds to go. But we were out of timeout, so he just had to go. But they came in, and he could have got to the basket one-on-one, but they gave help. Is what I can figure. So he hit Jordan. I would say every 3 or 4 days. We do it all year long. We have like 3 or 4 that we run there, but there's a backside of the play too that we're ready for if they take away the front that throw to Muhammad. But if we can get to Muhammad in that spot we got to, he's just going.
These guys
same play in Maryland. Same play.
These guys have said that Jordan has hit that shot in practice 5 or 6 times.
He does hit the shot. If you guys were in our scrimmage, right? He hit a shot in the first half. He hit a shot to win it. Yep. He does that. And when he was on the scout team earlier in the year, when he was still growing as a player, we really have these intense matchups where we're guarding the scout team and we don't like it when they score. And somebody's going to run who scores. He, over and over again, would hit shot clock shots. Just when the blue team thought they were going to get the point, he would hit a shot. So he's got that ability to get his own shot, and he's got plenty of confidence to make it.
You said that he pulled you aside afterwards and said that good luck, you got to deal with him for the next couple of years. Are you up to that challenge?
With Jordan, yeah, he's growing every day. All I can say, he's growing in the right direction, and he's a heck of a kid, and it's going to be fun to watch him over the next couple of years develop as on and off the court, because he's become an outstanding student, and he's got a lot of confidence.
It seemed like after that layup, you brought everybody over.
Yeah.
What kind of was that?
Well, was that with how much time was left? That was.
Looked like 4. I think it was right.
Yeah. That we had a lot of time that we've been practicing the play. We decided we were going to run it, and then we had time. But I wanted to make sure they knew that if he made it, let the ball sit there on the floor so we could still set it up. We don't have a 4-point play, but if he missed one of them and make sure that they were going to call time out, right? But then I decided to ice him anyhow. I just said, okay, I'm not going to go. We're not going to go in here with 2 timeouts in our pocket, and it all worked out. Sometimes it doesn't.
It seemed like the mood was a little bit down for the players. So did you kind of find yourself and be like, hey, we still have a chance, let's go?
No, I think they were pretty focused, but they were down because we had, we did some things that aren't winning basketball today, and just a few, but just enough. But credit Houston, they made us make some of those plays. But a couple of those turnovers that Xavier had in the backcourt, when have you seen him do that? Just throw the ball away. It just doesn't happen. And so we got to just continue to work and get better.
Duncan's the guys you've coached, where does he rank in the swag factor?
He is probably in the top 1 percentile of all those guys. Now there's been a lot of guys, but he's in that area. And so we could teach him to learn to play the game, winning basketball better. You can't teach the swag that he's got, the confidence that he has.
Can you talk about Duncan's threes early, please, and John's free throws late?
Duncan's early were big for us, but John's free throws late. I was well in the conference from the foul line. It's like 65, 68%. But he's a much better shooter than he shot lately. So those were big ones because we couldn't score. That was the only way we were going to score late. And forget us to get the 5-point play like the Ohio State. That was a big change in the game as well.
And then Duncan, just the spark that he gave you early,
No,
you guys needed that.
That was really good, and he's just really played well, and he shot from deep, and he's really played well. And then he could have had better looks in the second half. He didn't make any of them. And he had 3 as open as we can get him, and he wasn't close, so probably a little tired at that time. He's playing a lot of minutes right now, but the team is clicking better with him in the lineup.
You talked a little bit about Houston's defense. What did they do specifically to slow down?
Well, they went small, like a lot of teams, and they got better quickness maybe than some of the teams that we played that switch ball screens. So they were switching sometimes, they were going under sometimes, they were playing off sometimes, and but Mo was only out there for 23 minutes. I mean, he had, the first foul was not his fault. That was Muhammad had to wait for him to set the screen and didn't do it. The second one, he started to explain. I just hate the reach fouls that he has. So we've been playing without Muhammad without Mo a lot lately, and that's concerning.
Adjusting this foul stuff as we move forward.
How do you adjust the what?
How it's being called.
It's still, we know how it's being called. We have to adjust. We have to understand it. But Mo's foul there, his 5th foul, his 4th foul was the exact same one that was called on him at Purdue. He has hand around the guy's back. We have 3 big-time officials out there. And that's where Mo has to grow. He got to realize that that's not going to change. And so that's a tough one for us. But unfortunately, they missed some of those fouls.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.